Good afternoon and welcome back to TMNtv News. I'm Liz Steck and the date is October 17th, 2022. We'll start out with some international news before getting into local news. The United States and Canada sent armored vehicles and equipment into Haiti on Saturday to assist the government in its fight against a powerful gang. This comes from more than a month after the gang surrounded a fuel terminal and demanded the resignation of Prime Minister Ariel Henry. Since then, fuel prices have skyrocketed, and the group has blocked major roads to prevent humanitarian aid from reaching citizens. Gang violence has also caused hospitals to limit services, despite Haiti currently dealing with an outbreak of cholera. More than 560 cases of cholera have been reported. The Haitian government has requested the immediate deployment of foreign troops, but we have yet to see a response. The electrical system in Greece ran completely on clean, renewable energy for the first time last week. Renewable energy sources covered all of Greece's electricity for about 5 hours last Friday, totaling in 3,106 megawatt hours. This accomplishment comes after decades of work to decrease the dependency on fossil fuels and support the production of hydropowered plants. The Biden-Harris administration released their annual national security strategy last week. This 48-page document lays out the administration's plans, including a focus on rebuilding alliances. Russia and China were also identified as the biggest threats to national security. Barbara Wassinger and Edward Hammond discussed issues facing Hays during the 111th District Kansas House of Representatives Forum Wednesday night at the Rose Garden Banquet Hall in Hays. Education, affordable housing, and child care were among many of the topics discussed. Here's what the candidates had to say about higher education funding.
Well, I did my very best to fix the number of people in Kansas. I had my 4 kids. So I think we have to worry about the fact that we're losing population. People are leaving Kansas. That's why the tax code, to allow that the retirement funds not be taxed, will keep people and keep money into our area and help things grow. I think we need to encourage our young people to do things like vocational learning. We need to make sure that we take care of them so that they can learn a trade and start working and feel proud and be ready to take care of their families here in Ellis County. So those are some of the few things that I think that we can do.
Mr. Hammond?
I'd like to address the topic, and that is higher education, tuition, and impact. I think the block grant is the single most important thing an institution of higher education gets. It's the largest part of their budget. In the case of Fort Hays State, last year we serviced about 18,827 students. That's not about, that's exact. Students that we had at our institution. Wichita State at the same time had a few more. They had 19,010. Now, that's 183 difference in number of students, excuse me. The block grant for Fort Hays State that was voted on by the Appropriations Committee and approved for Fort Hays was $39 million. Wichita State block grant was $85 million. That's what we need to make equal. And if we can do that, we can take pressure off of tuition increases, reduce the amount of loans that are being given, and make our institutions fairly and more equitably dealt with.
Election Day is November 8th. You can watch the rest of the debate on our Tiger Media YouTube channel or read a summary at tigermedianet.com. Last Wednesday, the Forsyth Library hosted an online LGBTQ+ leadership symposium, highlighting the work that libraries do to bring resources to queer communities in rural areas. The keynote speaker was Brandon West, Development Coordinator at the Independence Public Library. West is also the founder of Project Q&A, a group that educates, empowers, and raises visibility for queer individuals in rural America. West spoke about being afraid, being visible, and being a leader, the 3 aspects of the power of being. Here's what he had to say about being visible.
Creating spaces that are inclusive and safe starts with us being visible. And we have to ask ourselves, as a person, are we being visible? As an institution, is our institution being visible to members of our community? We all take up space. And is that space that we're taking up, Are we being welcoming to other individuals? Are we creating space around us for other individuals to be their authentic self? When LGBTQ people are included, the community starts to be seen by society. When people are able to see something represented, they are better able to understand and grasp who those people are. And this creates an important shift in the social consciousness to include people from a range of different backgrounds. Simply stated, that by being visibly queer, we can show that we are your neighbors, your friends, churchgoers, community members. We're just like everybody else in the
The rest of West's presentation, as well as the 6 other presentations from the symposium, can be watched on the FHSU Scholars Repository. The Gender and Sexuality Alliance hosted their annual National Coming Out Day last Tuesday in the Quad. Faculty advisor Elizabeth Turner was excited to announce that this year will be the 30th anniversary of the first LGBTQ+ student organization at Fort Hays. Katie Rivera was able to attend the event and talk to members and students about the importance of the event.
Fort Hays' Gender and Sexuality Alliance Club partnered with Student Engagement last week to host a National Coming Out Day event out in the Quad. We'll hear from some students and GSA members on why this event is special to them.
Hi, my name is Brenna Kaler. I use they, she pronouns, and I am a sophomore here at Fort Hays State.
Brenna speaks a little bit about how the Gender and Sexuality Alliance Club tries to create a safe space for students who identify within this community. She also talks about the overall purpose of the GSA and why having an organization like this on college campuses is important for students.
It helps advocate for those who are also unable to speak for themselves.
My name is Kat. I am the president of GSA. My goal for the event is just to spread awareness of the community on campus. We're bigger than you'd think.
As Kat mentions, having events like this on college campuses is important to not only create a safe space, but also to educate other students on the community within their own college campus.
Events like this is a good way to kind of build community and see kind of where you can find connections with people who either have things in common with you or people who are very supportive of what you choose to do with your life. A lot of people, when they do come out, kind of lose their support system if it's someone who doesn't agree with it, or they kind of lose their sense of belonging with that. So whether you're an ally or part of the community, it helps to have people there that you know support you and love you and can kind of take that role on if you lost people you loved during the process.
Along with many other student organizations, GSA's main goal is to create a community where students feel safe and proud of not only themselves, but of their peers. For more information on GSA, you can look on their Tiger link or on Instagram at fhsu.gsa.
You can find out more about this event on tigermedianet.com. Last week wrapped up National Hispanic Heritage Month on Saturday. Fort Hays Hispanic and Latino Leadership Organization hosted multiple events throughout the month to celebrate the Hispanic heritage. Abdiel Trejo talks a little bit about the goal of HALO on campus and the events they hosted.
Hi, my name is Abdiel Trejo. I'm the president of HALO, which is Hispanic American Leadership Organization. We started this month, or Hispanic Heritage Month, September 15th, by handing out fruit cups with tajin and chamoy, just to anybody that was in the quad winning just a cup of fruit, just to celebrate the start of it. But after that, we had a social / just informative event, a Megmidas, where we had esquites and dodinachos, which we had a good amount of people, like 50 or so people. And then our bigger event, which was September 29th, was Hispanic Heritage Month celebration, and there was a lot of people there. We were anticipating roughly 100 people, but I think we checked in and had like 170. So it was a lot more than we thought, but good thing we estimated for that many, that much food to be made. But yeah.
Fort Hays' Modern Language Dance Club also participated in the event, teaching some students some modern language dances.
Either on Tiger Link or on Instagram, we usually post everything the week of, or yeah, a couple of days before too, just saying what we're gonna be doing that week and where we're gonna meet. It's usually it's on Thursdays, either 5:30 or 6, whichever time works best for all of us. But yeah, anybody that's interested in the Hispanic culture or Hispanic/Latin culture is able to join. They don't have to be strictly Hispanic or Latino. So yeah, if you're wanting to join, just come and join us. But yeah.
You may have noticed a large group of people running around campus on Saturday morning. This was a group of faculty members, students, and community members who were honoring Serena Belaski. TMN reporter Reagan Neufeld was there and has the story.
Saturday marked the first annual Serena Sunflower 5K, held in honor of Serena Belaski, a Fort Hays student who passed away last year. Two of Serena's teachers from the College of Education, Linda Feldstein and Heather Musil, organized the event. Here's Feldstein on why they chose a 5K.
So we decided to hold this 5K in honor of Serena for a number of reasons. First, we knew that she had been an athlete. She ran track at her previous university before coming here. She was involved with the football team, with swimming, I believe with basketball. She was very involved in sports. And so we knew that running would be something that she would feel good about. And we also knew that it was a great way to raise money for this scholarship fund that her family has started in her honor.
According to Feldstein, 67 participants registered for the race in Hays, but support came from all over.
Many people participated and paid their registration fee, but we also had a lot of people who are running 5Ks both in Stafford, where Serena was from, and in Kansas City. And so those folks are also donating to the scholarship fund. And then we have people who've just donated money because they knew her but maybe can't be here today. So we've had quite a few donations.
As mentioned, this will be an annual event, so Feldstein also discussed their goals for the future.
Well, I would hope that we'd be able to fund Serena's scholarship. And so I had a monetary goal for this particular year in terms of how much we could donate, and I think that we will have met that goal for this year. So we're just hoping to maybe be able to raise a little bit more every single year as the time goes forward.
For Tiger Media Network, this is Reagan Neufeld.
Thanks, Reagan. To read more about this story and see pictures from the day, visit tigermedianet.com. We are starting off this week a little colder than last week with a high of 58 and a low of 26. Tomorrow will be even colder with a high of 51 and a low of 27. Things will warm back up towards the end of the week, though, with a high of 83 and a low of 43 on Friday. The high on Saturday will be 81 degrees, perfect for Tiger football on Saturday. When we come back, Reagan Neufeld and Caden Sanders with sports.
We know you'll love what you see here on our campus in Hays, America.
With over 200 academic programs, small classroom sizes, and a 96% success rate, we will make sure you get the tools you need to succeed.
We are proud to offer you 120 clubs and student organizations, over 300 different intramural activities, and countless other ways to get involved here on campus.
As the most affordable four-year institution in the entire state, we are excited to offer you the best value in education anywhere. Not to mention our robust scholarship programs to help minimize that stress of paying for college.
We hope you enjoyed Tiger Nation, and we can't wait for you to see yourself here.
The average person uses around 100 gallons of water per day. With only 3% of the water on Earth being fresh water, it is important to be mindful of how much you are using. Turning off the sink while you are brushing your teeth is an easy way to conserve water. It is also important to never leave running water unattended. Replacing leaky faucets is another easy way to cut down on water usage. Also, adjusting the load size on your washing machine will ensure that water is not being wasted. Do your part to help conserve water.
Welcome back, I'm Caden Sanders.
And I'm Reagan Neufeld. The fall sports teams are gearing up for their end-of-season tournaments and meets. After a week off, the cross-country teams were back in action on Saturday. Caden, how were their results?
The cross-country teams had another meet just down the road on I-70 in Colby this past Saturday for the Trojan Invite. The women's team finished second place, just behind the only Division I team there in Air Force. The team was led by Reagan Hodson with a fourth place finish and Darian Hudgens finishing 8th place. The men's team finished 7th with its best finisher as Jarrett Feisenmeyer took 37th. Air Force was the champion on the men's side as well, but not behind a close finish by the Colby Trojans. The team will be back in action the start of next month as they prepare for the MIAA Championships in November.
The Fort Hays soccer teams combined for 2 ties, a win, and a loss last week. The women played their first game of the week Friday, coming away with a 5-0 win against Missouri Southern. The 5 goals scored by Hannah Mayers, Sullivan Kelly, and Riley Madden are a season high for the Tigers. The team's second game of the week resulted in their 7th draw of the season, tying the number 5 ranked Central Missouri Jennies on Sunday 1-1. The lone goal came from Katie Pacino in the 65th minute of play. Caden, you were there. Tell me a little bit about what you saw from the Tigers during that game.
I thought the game was great. It was a very physical match between these two ranked teams. We saw Katie Pacino give up pretty much an own goal. She was trying to find Isabel Robin, the keeper, but Megan Hamline just intercepted the pass and she got an easy goal. But Pacino put the ball in the back of the net for the corner there. But Fort Hays did drop in the standings. They were 3rd, now they're 5th. Got jumped by 2 teams. Hopefully we can host the tournament here. Top 4 teams do host. But for that to happen, we do need to beat Washburn this Friday. But we also need Missouri Northwest to also lose their match this week. Mm-hmm. So the Tigers will travel to Topeka to play Washburn on Friday before the regular season and then finish it up with Nebraska Kearney on Sunday in Hays. The other soccer team at Fort Hays was on the road this past week and had a rough week. Reagan, tell me how that went.
Yes, the men's team played Thursday against Ouachita Baptist, but neither team scored, resulting in a 0-0 draw. The Tigers were then on the road again Saturday, playing against Harding in Arkansas. Fort Hays got an early goal from Callum Frogson, however Harding then scored 3 unanswered goals. And what will that do to league standings, Caden?
Yes, before this week started, or last week I should say, is Fort Hays was leading and they were going to host at least the opening round or the next round or the tournament for the GAC, and now they are in 2nd place just behind Southern Nazarene. Lucky for the Tigers, Southern Nazarene comes to town this week. So we are looking to host, but we need to win out because Southern Nazarene does have Ouachita Baptist and Newman, one of the lower teams on the standings. We move to volleyball. The Fort Hays volleyball team had a big week as they competed in 3 matches against 2 nationally ranked opponents. The Tigers started the week at home against Washburn. The Tigers ultimately lost the match 3-1, but broke a national record with 20 blocks in a 4-set match. Fort Hays went on the road to Newman and beat the Jets in 3 straight sets before moving on to the 19th ranked Central Oklahoma Broncos. Fort Hays won the first 2 sets before the Broncos rallied for the win 3-2.
And it was the same story for the football team on Saturday, as they also traveled to Oklahoma to take on the Broncos and lost 35-23. The Tigers built a 10-0 lead that lasted early in the second quarter, but a field goal and touchdown from the Broncos tied it up.
Fort Hays was then outscored 25-13 throughout the rest of the game, bringing their record to 1-6. Up next for the Tigers is Central Missouri. The game is here in Hays and starts at 1 p.m. The Student Government Association will be hosting its annual trunk or treat at halftime. That wraps up this week's sports update. You can find updates on all Fort Hays athletics throughout the week on tigermedianet.com.
In just a moment, we'll hear from Katie Rivera about celebrities, new movies, and professional sports. But before we go, here's a look at this week's athletic schedule.
Welcome to Get Cultured with Katie, where I share updates from Hays to Hollywood and everywhere in between.
It's the students that have been part of this
Selena
program
Gomez and Hailey
that have made
Bieber
it.
were seen making amends at the Academy Museum Gala. Well, maybe this is a statement to all of us that you can always make your enemies your friends. A new Netflix show will have people sleeping with one eye open. The Netflix original The Watcher is based on a true story from New Jersey. Because what is more entertaining than watching a family slowly become more paranoid that someone is watching them while watching it alone in your dorm room? On the topic of creepy things to watch, the new movie Halloween Ends premiered last week and definitely won't be on my watch list, but if you enjoy scary movies, then Michael Myers will appreciate your support. While he is not as scary as Michael Myers, Tom Brady also lost his temper on Sunday after an 18-20 loss. Brady shared his feelings with his offense about his disappointment on their performance during the game. The Kansas City Chiefs also added a loss to their record after a close game with the Buffalo Bills Sunday afternoon. Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker hit a 62-yard field goal, the longest field goal ever made in Arrowhead Stadium. The kick was estimated to have been successful from even the 70-yard mark, which would have beat the current NFL field goal record. Too bad records don't win games. Kansas State alum Skylar Thompson made his NFL debut last week for the Miami Dolphins after the second-string quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, suffered from a concussion the week before. Maybe Miami should start adding bubble wrap to their uniforms for the rest of the season. This is all I have for this week, but as always, thank you for joining me on Getting Cultured with Katie, and I'll see you next week. After this break, Liz will be back with more campus news.
Teachers today are finding new ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
When you transfer to Fort Hays State University, you discover unmatched affordability, convenience, and powerfully supportive faculty and staff, all with a determination that matches yours. Complete your degree and leap forward in your life and career with Fort Hays State University Online. The best value in education anywhere.
The Fort Hays Shotgun team recently received a $60,000 donation for a new training center. The new center will be built at the Hays City Sportsman Club, the team's current practice facility, and give the team a real home, according to head coach Duane Shepard. The Shotgun team has enjoyed many successful seasons since it was established in 2005. They've even achieved success at the highest level, winning 8 national championships over the years. Here is Shepard on the key to that success.
It's the students that have been part of this program that have made it what it is. We have good students, and we have good, honest young individuals that come in here, and they want to make it work. They want to benefit from it, but they understand, buying into the philosophy and doing the things necessary. And we've had, over the years, besides the national championship, we've been recognized over the years as one of the most professional and most well-organized groups out there, and it's due to them. We've been blessed with good kids.
More about the new training center, as well as the team and what their competitions look like, can be found on TigerMediaNet.com. The Fort Hays Theater Department performed Promises, Promises last week, a show about an insurance worker using his knowledge of the company's secrets to climb the corporate ladder, all to impress his company crush. The show ran Thursday to Sunday, featuring a small cast of Fort Hays students and even one faculty member. More about the show and the cast experiences can be found on TigerMediaNet.com. To help students relax during midterms, Student Health and Wellness Services invited Karen the Comfort Dog to come to the Union for everyone to pet. I had the opportunity to go visit Karen and learn more about what she does. In the midst of midterms week, a familiar face was waiting in the Union to greet students. Karen the Comfort Dog, who has been coming to visit Fort Hays for a couple years now, was in the Union on Thursday the 13th for students to come and pet. Karen is a certified comfort dog with Lutheran Church Charities and was invited to campus by Student Health and Wellness to help students relax during midterms. The Health and Wellness Center also provided mints, stickers, and tips that students could take to help them through midterms. I got to speak with one of Karen's handlers to learn more about what she does.
Her job is to just provide comfort, compassion to people that are suffering or in need, or in this case, they may not know that they have any needs or anything, but once they pet Karen, everything seems to get better. We usually come during midterms and finals weeks, and we just sit outside of Starbucks, and Karen has a big following now, and she's meeting all kinds of new people today because it's a new school year, and so some of the seniors are gone and some of the freshmen are now starting up.
Karen comes to campus around midterms and finals each semester and will be back to visit the students of Fort Hays on December 1st. With Tiger Media Network, this is Liz Steck. Even though it's in the season to be tricky, one organization on campus brought some treats to the community. Last week, the Circle K International Organization held a pumpkin painting party for Fort Hays students. Students were given a snack as well as played the holiday favorite movie, Halloween Town. The painted pumpkins will be donated to the Via Christi Assisted Living this Wednesday to bring some joy to the residents. Last Saturday, Defiance Brewing Company hosted Paws and Pints from 4 to 8. Attendants brought their dogs to hang out and even do some doggy painting. A local band, Tree Kitty, played live music. The Humane Society of the High Plains sold merchandise and doggy treats, with all the proceeds going to the animal shelter. More news on fundraising for the Humane Society of the High Plains can be found on TigerMediaNet.com. The Immaculate Heart of Mary's youth organization has been hosting their annual Haunted Hotel. They will be open again this weekend and next weekend, starting at 7 p.m. and ending at 11 p.m. Admissions is $10. That's a wrap on today's TMNtv News. To stay up to date with local, state, and national news, visit tigermedianet.com as well as our social media pages. Thank you for watching. I'm Liz Steck, and we'll see you next time.